Hey y'all, it's me, Shamika. This is Check the Rhymes Unedited. I was debating on whether or not to talk about this um, loudly, but a lot of people said they were interested in learning about my journey and how all this works, and especially as I've been trying to do research. I thought, you know what? I might release this blog or I might do a blog. I don't know, but I just thought, let me just record it. So, I have elected to have a breast reduction, and this was probably over a year in the making. Honestly, it's been years of wondering, like, should I do it or should I not? And then my doctor was like, my family doctor was like, if you're ready to do it, I will refer you to someone. So we, last year, she referred me, but it was so crazy. They could not get me in until this year. Right. So it was like I had to wait a whole year. So I had time to quit, start, all those things. So, and I've talked about this before, I think a little bit about going into one consultation, and it was the most humiliating thing I've ever dealt with when it comes to, well, no, it's not going to be the most humiliating, but it's one of the top about the doctor that was basically like, you could just lose weight. Well, sir, I have lost weight. These ain't going nowhere. So, of course, people are like, well, what size are you? I think you could either call it a triple D or a G. It's the same thing, too big for my frame. So they're heavy. My shoulders hurt. Imagine trying to like I go to yoga. So imagine trying to do planks and downward dog and I can't even do the eagle pose because I can't get my arms around. Like it's a whole thing, but I've still been going to yoga, pushing through. It's hard to work out because you got to lug these things around. It's hard to go up and down the stairs. Your back hurts, your shoulders hurt, your neck hurts. You try to go to sleep, they're in the way. Like it's just it's a whole thing. And then after a while, it takes a toll on you when you look in the mirror, when you're looking at pictures of yourself. And I think this is the part that a lot of us don't share because people, of course, men are like, why are you getting rid of them? There's nothing wrong with them. Well, when I look in the mirror, and I don't know if anybody could relate, all I see are boobs. Like it makes me feel like I'm a linebacker, like I'm about to go play for the Panthers. Like I just feel like I'm big back, and while the rest of my body may not look like that. And it makes me look bigger than I am. And like my back and shoulders are hurting right now so bad. Like I literally have gone to sleep the past couple nights with a heating pad right here and then ice pack over here. Like it's too much. So anyway, I went in for the consultation. And I'm just going to start with the good doctor that I went to the consultation, the one that's actually going to do the surgery, because I did go to a different doctor. And he immediately was like, what size do you want to be? The other one told me we can't go by sizes. Really now? Well, could you tell me how much titty meat you're going to take out? I mean, he couldn't even tell me that. So this doctor, he was like, I think you'd be look good at a C. So I don't know. I haven't had the surgery yet, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it is a. I'd rather have a B, but we'll see what happens. But he thought a nice C would work. And so while we're at it, and you've got this extra booby meat that's right here. So we're gonna lipo that, so to smooth it out so it looks um, good. Because at first I was like, is that extra? Because I'm not trying to, but he's like, we'll already have the lipo machine out. So with that being said, since I just brought it up, I am also doing a mini tummy tuck because of all the surgeries. If you followed my journey, then you already know about the multiple fibroid surgeries, the myomectomy, the hysteroscopy, the mini, just the exploratory surgeries, about the what ultimately ended up in the hysterectomy a couple years ago. And so all of that has done a number on my abdomen. And I forgot the hernia repair, which also probably came from fibroids. So after a while, that just takes a toll on your stomach. And it doesn't matter how much you work out. And I think it's not the same as a mom pouch, I think is what I've heard people call it. I don't have kids, but it's a shelf. That shelf is not going anywhere. It doesn't matter. You do a sit up, you do whatever, that shelf is not going anywhere. And it's like the more surgeries I've had, the bigger it gets. And so I thought, you know what? While you got me under, let's do it. So we're going to tuck that thing because I was like, don't move my belly button. I don't want to do that because I was also afraid once you take back these boobs, I don't want to look down and see belly. Call me vain, whatever. But I want to feel good about myself again. And that's one of the things, and I've talked about this a lot on Ladies Edition. I have not felt good about myself. I don't really go out as much as I should. Now, yes, you see me sitting in front of this camera, but I can control that. I can control that you don't see all this, right? So I am ready to be able to fit into my clothes again, buy new clothes that I actually like and feel comfortable in. It's like with the fibroids, my chest has grown like bigger and bigger and bigger since I was diagnosed with fibroids in 2012, 2013. So it's just like it's been this never ending and of course it's probably some of it's hormonal, some of it's just fat, but and age, right? As we get into that perimenopause, menopause age, and I'm not telling you how old I am, but when you get up there, because well, actually, you don't know how old I am because perimenopause could start in your 20s. You don't know. But you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it didn't matter that I lost 18 pounds because the boobies didn't do anything but continue to grow. And you can't spot lose weight, right? So I bring up the lipo. I know I'm all over the place. The lipo part will handle just to even out the side, the flanks, I think they call it, and the upper abdomen, just because I was like, you can't get rid of the shelf and then the top part be all like but I have a hernia mesh, so that's another reason why we can't do a full tummy tuck because that hernia, it was an umbilical hernia, so it's right. That mesh is right above the belly button, which was the issue with my hysterectomy. Like doctor said, he went in and had to back out. Like, ooh, we can't mess with that. So we had to. He had to figure it out how to get that uterus out of there. So I'm nervous. I'm excited. I'm still freaking out because I have no clue. Um, how I'm going to sit still for that long. But one thing I do know is I am so ready to look in the mirror and feel confident again and feel like me. Because honestly, I have not felt like me since before that fibroid diagnosis. It's like I've been looking in the mirror at somebody that I don't know who it is. And while I can sit there and do all the affirmations and go to all the therapy sessions, it doesn't change that body dysmorphia type of feel when you put on an outfit and like this way you're like I look good, you turn to the side and it's like boom or it's boom boom like I don't sorry but yeah, so I just started to wear my uniform has been t-shirts, shorts, t-shirts, jeans, hoodies, jeans, like that is it. And so I'm ready to wear dresses again because I stopped wearing dresses because it was one comment that said I looked pregnant or because my boobs were big and my stomach was big. Now, granted, I had fibroids at that point, but I think here's the other part. I think a lot of men don't realize that when we are dealing with something they can't see, like fibroids, endometriosis, whatever it is, we have that additional weight gain or our body is reacting to whatever we got going on inside. And plus, they stress us out. That their comments don't help. I can tell you, I've heard comments from men from, why are you shaped funny? To, you have nice legs, so why is the upper body looking like that? Or you're too pretty to look like that. Or you, you need to get back in the gym. You're not working out hard enough. You're not this, you're not that, you're not this. And after a while, that takes a toll. Now, granted, you can cuss them out, do all the things, but let's be real, when you are by yourself, all that starts to replay in your mind about this one said this one said this one said this. And it just does a number on you. So for a long time, I was totally against plastic surgery. But once my family doctor kind of shared, she did it and hers looked good. I was like, well, does your back still hurt? She said no. And so I said, well, I think because of my chiropractor bill, my acupuncture bill, um, yeah, this would help alleviate. So I am moving forward with that. I just had my pre-op. So Well, let me back up. I'm sure some of you want to know. Consultation really was just talking about your goals, talking about, the doctor's literally putting your boobs in his hands, feeling, he's like, "Ooh, these are heavy," or, pinching and pulling and trying to see where they're going to do what, all the things, and explaining the way they do surgery. I'll have I think it's called the anchor lollipop. I think that's called the anchor lollipop. I don't know. And a lot of people are concerned about the scars. I don't care. I could care less about a scar. Like, who cares? I got plenty of scars from fibroids. I don't care. And, but some of you might, whatever. There's scar removal cream. I don't know if I'll venture into that or not. I might. Well, I'll keep you posted. But then things kind of happened fast. That was in April. And then here we are in May, and they called and they're like, actually, it was end of April. They're like, here's your quote. My breast reduction is going to be covered by insurance. And so there is a long list of criteria that you have to meet for the insurance company, and you have to check with your own insurance company. But there's things on there on that list, and I'm just going off the top of my head here. Like, have you tried to lose weight? Have you lost weight? Do you have a dietitian? Have you seen a chiropractor? Do you have back pain, shoulder grooves, this, that, and a third? I also was having rashes underneath that one summer. It was 2 years ago. Um, the entire summer, it was just like this heat rash, I think yeast or whatever, that would not go away. I stayed up at the urgent care, like, help. And after cream, and and realizing that a lot of those creams were making it worse until I finally got into the dermatologist, and she put me on a long regimen of yeast infection, the pill, the diflucan, I think is what it's called, for like 8 weeks to clear it up. That's a long time for somebody with big boobies not to wear a bra. But anyway, it was freeing, but still, it's a long time. So those types of things, you've got to have gone through some stuff to get it covered. And so I am so grateful that the insurance is covering. So I don't know the cost, because I know that's a question. I have no idea what the full cost is. I know that I must pay like my copay of, like, I think it's 30%. And so now I am coming out of pocket for the mini tuck and the lipo, but I'm hoping it'll be worth it and I will come out snatched. And I'm just excited about feeling better about myself. So I had my pre-op this week, and pre-op, I was nervous. They gave me a packet of information, like all the do's and don'ts. It's like 17 pages, y'all. I ain't read all that stuff yet, but it's a whole thing of do's and don'ts, and what not to take a couple weeks before surgery. So when I walked in for the pre-op, I was very nervous because they were like, "Do you have your soap?" And I was like, "If that was in that packet, I didn't read it yet because I've been busy." And so the soap is the basically the Hibiclens, and it's a small bottle, and I'm so glad that that was kind of included in that price. Um, and I know some people are probably asking, like, did you go to one of these plastic surgery places? I actually just went to where my doctor referred me because that doctor did her surgery. And I just went with the recommendation, honestly. And it's under the network that I normally go to. So that's pretty much what I did. So they gave me the soap. So I was like, oh, good. I don't have to go searching for this. And so I have it. You shower with it the night before and the morning of. And that's as far as I know, because I haven't read the stuff. Yeah, but I will, and I'll have an update for y'all. And then I go into the appointment. He goes over, like, stood me in the mirror and really just like showed me again where he's going to be cutting, where the scars will be. It also includes a lift. So like right now, my boobs they're sitting in my lap. If I didn't have a bra on, it'd be like down to the floor, feels like. But yes, so we did that. He pinched and pulled and showed me like how much of the tucking he was going to do with the abdomen, where we would do lipo. And I was like, well, how many pounds does that take off the scale? Because I'm convinced that the scale reflects this. And he's like, 3 pounds. I was like, per or just total? So he's like, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. So I'll have to keep you posted on that. One thing that I am going to invest in is a recliner with a lift because I heard that you'll have issues if you don't have somebody that can help you get up and down and that's a problem. Like I do have help, but not everybody can be here all the time, and not everybody is capable of helping me stand up. So I thought let's alleviate that stress and just get a recliner or chair with a lift, like the elderly. At least I'll be ahead of the game. So I plan to do that. I'll have at least, he says, one drain that I'll keep in for about 10 days. You can shower after 3 days. I have started to purchase like some button up, like pajamas, shirts, dresses, like a little cute sundress. I don't know where I'm going, but you've got to wear button up stuff because you're going to be like T-Rexed. You can't lift your arms, you can't do all that. So it's like I've now got to figure out who can take out the trash, who can, I need to move stuff to so that I can reach it or whoever can reach it. If I'm here by myself, I need to be able to reach stuff. So yeah, so I have a lot to do, but my surgery is in about 5 weeks. So I will keep you guys posted. I don't know why we did pre-op so early, but the doctor's like, let's move the surgery up. And I'm like, whoa, player. I haven't even started really getting into my list of must-haves. But here's what I'm not going to do though. I may show a before and after picture, but I'm not gonna like document every single piece of the way because y'all don't need to be seeing me in a hospital gown. You don't need to see all that stuff. There's plenty of other vlogs like that, and y'all know that's not my style. So yeah, I might show you a hand with a IV, but I'm not gonna do all that other extra. So if you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get to them as the journey goes. The I do have another pre-op, like I think it's a couple weeks before surgery. So, and that's just a phone thing. I know some people have had to do labs. I did not have to do labs, probably because I've already done labs with my family doctor, and this doctor could clearly see those labs. So there was no need to redo it. I do have to even I am on a semaglutide. I'm gonna be honest, I am on a semaglutide because I am pre-diabetic. So, and let me tell y'all, that thing ain't it ain't. I haven't lost any weight, but it's kept my A1C in check. So I do have to stop it a couple weeks before surgery. And y'all know I am not about that natural hair life, and I do get relaxer. So, and I'll be due for a relaxer right before surgery. So now I got to figure that out. Like, I need my hair to be manageable for me, and y'all can judge, but I get the relaxers. Uh, and let's see, I think that's it. But if you have any questions, let me know. Um, yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I've heard about all the pain that you're going to go through. I've watched a bajillion videos of other people's blogs. And so y'all know me, I'm going to tell you the real. If it hurts, if it's, you know, worth it, all those things. I'm hoping it's worth it. I've seen people's results and it looks like it's worth it, and their confidence is just soaring. So I've been rambling for way too long. So drop your comments. And if you do want me to, and I probably am better at writing this because I'm all over the place right now because I just on a whim decided to record this. But if you are interested in actually reading the blog, let me know and I will put one together. If you're okay just watching me ramble, cool. I'm not used to this vlog thing, so I'm used to doing interviews. And, I'll come to y'all sometimes and do like a quick chat, but I don't know. But anyway, watch Celebration on Wednesdays on blackdoctor.org, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.